right, good evening, everybody. Whoever's out there watching right now, it says there's nobody out there, but New York Outcast was out there at one point. So was Ron to a Matter. So evening to both of you. If you two are still out there and the counter's just wrong, wouldn't surprise me in the least. It's been wrong before. So anyway, I am Rich White as always, and there's nobody else here on the panel right now. So you only get to listen to me for the time being. Hopefully that'll change here at some point. There's Guns and Barbecue. He's out there. Boo. Yeah, okay, whatever. You know. And yeah, it's barbecue. What are you going to do? But yeah, saying there's 3 people out there on the YouTube side, 1 person on Rumble. So. And of course, I don't know why it puts the counter for X because it never counts. It never counts anybody over on X. Because X is weird and doesn't let anybody integrate their stuff except to broadcast over there. Chats and counters don't work. Yep, there's Ron 2A Matter says, yeah, he's here. Okay. So, this week's been crazy, folks. This week has been crazy. Got the continuing riot saga in LA. The No Kings stuff yesterday. Iran and Israel beating the hell out of each other. A crazy guy in Minnesota killing a politician and her wife and trying to kill another politician. Where the hell do we start with this week? Holy shit. And things have gotten crazy. Things have gotten crazy. Hence the title of this week's episode, As the World Burns. You know, pun on the old soap opera As the World Turns. I was tempted for the thumbnail to see if I could find the As the World Turns thing and modify it, but I didn't have enough time to play around with it in Photoshop to do it. Or I would have. I wanted to, I just didn't have time to. What's the what thing about, Rob? I have no idea what he's talking about. I'm not sure what the Toko thing is. What? So, yeah. But I was, before we went live, Rob tries to, maybe he'll explain more what he's talking about. But while he's waiting on to see if he does, I was reading an article before we went out live about the authorities don't know if the guy up in Minnesota is even in the country anymore. Shoots 2 politicians and they don't know if he got clean away out of the country. It's like, oh, that's nice. They found his abandoned car somewhere up in Minnesota, but they haven't found him. So, there's Gary under his Boomer Listens name saying, do I have to listen to this? I don't know. Is somebody holding a gun to your head making you? And Jacob Bess is trying to get sued by Obi. He's using his yo. But Obi's not here, so you go right ahead, Jacob. Yeah. Rob tells Gary it's part of his community service program. What did you do, Gary, that you're on community service? Anyway. Jacob's like, I've always said yo. Obi-Wan thinks that he has copyrighted that or something or other. So yeah, so yeah, there's that. But you know what? So what? He's not here anyway. Criminy. I don't know where to start first in this mess. Well, I guess I already started with the Minnesota thing, didn't I? Yeah. Only if Gary cleans it up, George. Only if Gary cleans it up. George Grayson Cat, for those who don't see, say asks if he can poops here. Defense that's out there wouldn't know what we're unloading tonight. Oh, there's a whole week of shit. Crazy week. Crazy week. And at first, the speculation with the uh, woman that was shot up in Minnesota, the, the woman, female politician, can't remember her name. She's a state rep, I think it is, state rep or state senator up there in Minnesota. Was that she was shot and killed because she was the one Democrat, and I saw numerous people make this speculation yesterday when this story was breaking that she was shot because of being the only Democrat to cross the line and join with Republicans in voting against illegal aliens being allowed to get welfare in the state of Minnesota. But that's looking like that may be less of the case at this point. The suspect in question is a guy that was appointed to a jobs committee of some variety or another, and was appointed by two Democrat governors. Tim Walz and his predecessor had both appointed him to this panel. This panel is bipartisan, and according to his roommate, one of his roommates, because this guy apparently had an apartment that he shared with two other guys in Minnesota, but also, in Minneapolis, but also had a farm that he lived on with his wife and kids. Apparently, they split this apartment in Minnesota to save money while they commuted back and forth to work that way, or something along those lines. Anyway, the guy was saying that he was a Trump supporter and Trump voter. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe about this guy. There have been so much stuff that's been coming out and then disappearing from the media. So who knows what the truth is about the guy? The only thing that's been consistent is what his name is, and that he was a member of this board. At first, they said Tim Walz knew him, and now they're saying he doesn't know him, and who knows? But yeah, but the fact that they're not even sure if he's still in the country at this point is crazy. Which Minnesota does have a long border with Canada. He could easily have skedaddled right across that border. And Rob's saying he worked for the Democratic Party. I haven't had any. I haven't seen any reports that said he actually worked for the party. Just that he was appointed by Walz and Walz's predecessor. Another article I read today also said that the guy was trying to start security companies and was saying that he worked for all these security firms and everything, but there's no concrete evidence that he ever did any of that. But he was dressed in basically SWAT gear and allegedly imitated a police officer to get access to these people in order to shoot them. So who knows? The only other real thing that it just there's just something that I wouldn't. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if they found him dead somewhere. Uh, Under strange happenings. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm not saying that's what's happened. I'm just saying that this just reads like a suspense novel, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it happen. Just put it that way. It's just the whole situation is just weird. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and tie into it too that it happened on the same day as the No Kings rallies, which were protesting against the deportation of illegals and whatnot. It, it just makes it even crazier. It's just it just seems like something that you would watch in a movie or read in one of those cheap pulp fiction books back in the day. I mean, political thriller or some shit. You know, it's just a weird situation, especially if the guy did get away and is somewhere up in Canada right now, or who knows where else. Once if he got across the border into Canada, who knows where he would have went from there. Yeah, I mean, a bunch of they in the car they found. Apparent from what they were saying, they found more guns in his car. You know, just abandoned the car with a bunch of guns in it. The no king signs, like Rob's saying, yeah, it's just weird. Just something just seems off. Next, they'll say he had suppressors on his gun. I'm waiting for that one. With the battle going on in Washington right now in the Senate over the Hearing Protection Act, or what's left of it, or whatever they're calling it now. We'll see. We'll see. I hope, but hold on to your hats because I think we're gonna. This is going to be a weird story for a couple of weeks to come. Yet I don't think they're. I don't think we've seen the last of this one. Yeah, the last description Fox News was saying they had for a vehicle that the guy was spotted in was a burgundy sedan. Um, I think it said Buick or Oldsmobile. So I don't know. Definitely a sloppy job, Rob says. Yeah, yeah. I mean, this guy. Let's see. Do I still got the article pulled up? I was reading. Yeah. Let's see. Is this one the one that has about where he claims he worked? I do have one of them pulled up. Oh, Apparently, in security camera footage, he was wearing a creepy latex mask of an old man's face. And the FBI has issued a $50,000 reward for information leading to his capture. Try and see if this is the one that I have to scroll down a bit because it was pretty far down where it says where he was claiming he had worked security. Yeah, yeah. He spent most of his career in the food industry working at Nestle and Del Monte and Johnsonville Sausage Company. He spent a decade as a general manager at a Green Core grocery store and at a 7-Eleven in Minnesota. Before leaving in November of 2021 to become CEO of a mysterious company called Red Lion Group. And this is where it gets goofy. It's not clear what the company did, and the website for Red Lion Group is currently down. He also claimed he was the head of security company in Minnesota, but also reportedly had links to Central Africa. A month ago, he claimed he was looking for work and wanted to get back in the food industry, while also describing his recent work in Africa with the mystery Red Lion Group. Da-da-da-da. Yeah, claimed he was working in the Democratic Republic of Congo and other areas in Central Africa for the last 3 years. It says he was trained by various security professionals in the United States government. He was also listed as the director of security patrols on the website of a company called Praetorian Guard Security Services. They claim they provide residential armed home security, but have no clients or employees. And his employees, his one roommate said that he always wanted to have a security company, and he never had, nor was he a member of a security company. So this guy might have been a little off his rocker as well. So. And according to his profile on one of the company websites, he had been involved with security situations in Eastern Europe, Africa, North America, and Middle East, including the West Bank, Southern Lebanon, and the Gaza Strip. So, yeah, it's looking like this guy could just be a kook. Rob says anyone willing to work at 7-Eleven has some skills. Yeah. He was hired by somebody, or he's the patsy for somebody. Or he was put up to it by somebody. Because, if you look at some of this, the guy just seems like he's off his nut, too. So, could be one of those situations. Well, somebody gets in his ear, gets him going. He goes out and actually does it, and they can walk away with their hands clean. Like I said, it's like one of those damn political thriller book/movie kind of deals here. It's definitely a strange situation. Strange situation. A little column A, a little column B, and you got one hell of a mess. Speaking of the No Kings rallies, well, for the most part, those appear to have been one hell of a huge bust for the left. There weren't a whole lot of people that showed up, according to the reports I was seeing for it. Morgantown, West Virginia, here they had one. NPR tried saying there were hundreds of people there, hundreds and hundreds of people. Then one of the local news stations or something put out, I forget what it was, put out an article that said there were maybe a couple dozen people there. Yeah, it didn't. Keep in mind, Morgantown, West Virginia is a college town, the home of West Virginia University, WVU. And it's right down the road from Pittsburgh. It's a big urban area in that area. And couple dozen people maybe showed up for this thing. And then NPR changed their story to hundreds of people showed up across West Virginia. That's funny. I didn't see any in this part of the state. We were out yesterday and it went nobody here. And nobody in this area. Uh, well, Foss ain't here, barbecue. What do you want me to do about it? I sent him a link. Hell, I sent you a link too. But yeah, where was I? Oh, yeah, no, there was nobody around this area that showed up for that stuff. They were worried about all kinds of people possibly causing trouble up in Cumberland, Maryland, which is where my wife works, which is like a half hour across the border, 40 minutes, something like that, and nothing up there either. It was pretty dead, pretty dead. Hello, misfits. Long time no see. Yeah, but now from what I saw, things got a little carried away in New York. In Chicago, I think too. They were saying that there may have been a little bit of rioting going on in New York and Chicago. Defense stat says a few hundred probably showed up for the demonstration in his area. Barbecue says it was probably decided by a high on Kentucky because they are all gay. Hmm. Yeah, it's probably down from Morgantown down through Huntington and uh, Charleston area, Wheeling. From the northern Panhandle up and Wheeling down. I bet you anything is where they had people doing the No Kings thing here in West Virginia. But yeah, remember this is a state where every single county voted for Trump, so I wasn't expecting too much here. Christmas 740's out there, even to you, sir. Defense Dad said had a little bigger turnout for the Pride Festival that was after the No Kings thing. Yeah, Rob said they had about a decent number up in his area, about 300 plus, and no counter protest up there. Yeah, they probably didn't have one here because the last time they tried was to do something like that was during the whole Black Lives Matter thing, and it was pretty much made apparent to them that that stuff isn't welcome here. So probably why they didn't do one here. You know, they didn't even get across the bridge when they tried doing the Black Lives Matter protest march thing here, and they turned around and went back home. So probably why they didn't bother here. So Ron Wayne's out there, so as well. So evening, Ron. Other Ron and other Ron. Which one's Ron and which one's other Ron? Is Ron Wayne Ron and Ron 2A Matters other Ron? Is that what we came up with the one night? You know, like back in the day, we had Travis, and other Travis. Defense Dad's asking, how was Father's Day for y'all? He said his kiddo made him fajitas for dinner. I don't know. I think my kids forgot. I had 3 kids and didn't get told Happy Father's Day by any of them. So, yeah. Usually my youngest will call and tell me Happy Father's Day because she doesn't live at home. The other 2 do. I gave our son a pass because he came home from work sick. So he came home and right to bed. So yeah. Ron says Daryl, and Daryl's other brother. No, it was Larry, Daryl, and Daryl. Ron, Larry, Daryl, and Daryl. Only 2 of them were named Daryl. I know because Amy just binge watched that. First, she binge watched the 1970s era Bob Newhart show, and then she binge watched Newhart right afterwards. So, and anybody who's watched the final episode of Newhart, they tied that all together with the Bob Newhart show because in the final episode, and if it's a spoiler, too bad, people, this is going off the air in the 90s. The final episode of Newhart, him and Suzanne Plachette wake up in the old Bob Newhart show set bedroom, and Newhart was all a nightmare that Bob was having on the old Bob Newhart show from the 70s. Yep. Now Gary's out there under his Gizzard Gary name. And Defense Dad said he had root beer float for dessert. I'm not a big fan of soda floats, honestly. Something about the ice cream and the fizz, they don't sit right with my stomach a lot at a time. I mean, flavors are good and everything. It's just for some reason they don't agree with me. Well, let's see. You were Boomer listens earlier, and then George was on here. And, so that's just 2 names plus your cat. So who knows who else you may have been lurking on and just didn't say anything. Well, anybody who doesn't know that Gizzard Gary is Boomer Listens by now obviously doesn't watch his channel because he's only been promoting it. That's right, folks. In case you don't know, Gizzard Gary has a new channel called Boomer Listens, in which he goes and listens to music that he hasn't listened to before and gives his take on it. Again, that's Boomer Listens. They got you a steak. What, do they think you're a vampire? Trying to stake Rob in the heart. Look at that. In case you didn't realize, Rob, that's the wrong kind of steak. Yeah, strawberry shortcake, and cookies. Man, Ron Wayne says he's been binge watching Newhart for 3 months, looking forward to finding out how it ended. Seriously, Rich, thanks for ruining it. Oh man, I'm gonna kill a cat if he doesn't shut up. Never watched Big Bang Theory. Uh, well, I watched a couple, tried watching an episode here and there, but I never found it funny, so I never bothered watching it. Like, yeah, I don't get what this is. I don't get the appeal. Like, sat there. This is supposed to be funny. I don't know. I guess some people thought it was funny. I didn't. Hmm. Yeah, didn't watch the whole series. Like I said, I saw an episode here or there, but never really watched it. Never really thought it was funny. There's quite a few new shows that I haven't seen. Most TV shows I haven't seen. Don't watch it. Yeah. Well, Santa can re put them back together, shall we say? Uh huh. Yep. 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 Frosty melted, but Santa opened up the door to the magical. Well, no, it wasn't magical. He opened the door for the magical winds, and Frosty was okay. Bambi's mother gets shot. She doesn't just die; she gets shot. She's a victim of gun violence. Did Bambi live in Chicago? Vanessa, there she says hi. Rob says TV rots the brain. YouTube is healthier if it's his channel. Old Yeller dies. Old Yeller gets shot too. Anybody else want to come up with name a movie where an animal gets shot? I mean, it's not really cloned. It's I don't know what you would call what happens to Spock. It's the Genesis effect. Well, they determined that Data was a living thing, so I guess you could say Data died. Yes, Lieutenant Yar dies, and then becomes a Romulan. Somehow she had a half Romulan daughter. Yes, Kirk's son dies. I was reading an article not that long ago about Wrath of Khan, and the guy that played Kirk's son died too. The guy that played his son, he died from AIDS. Luke kissed his sister, yeah, but he didn't know she was his sister yet. And not just sister, twin sister, by the way. I don't know if he got AIDS from Khan. I think he got that because he was gay. And yes, they did say in the article that he was gay. I'm not just throwing that out there saying AIDS was a gay disease for all you freakos out there that'll be like, oh, they're saying AIDS is for gays. That's not what I'm saying. Should have known all that talk about rich Corinthian leather. Yes, the wizard is a snake oil salesman from Kansas with a balloon. He's got to have some kind of magic ability if he's able to get from Oz to Kansas using nothing but a hot air balloon. Just saying. Gary says, technically he wasn't real, it was all a dream. How do we know it was all a dream? Maybe it was her clicking her heels together because she does end up going back to Oz later on. Vanessa says she's got 4 sides of leather on her shelf. Okay. Uh, Ron says the Gilligan's Island cast represents the 7 deadly sins. Well, according to Dallas, I believe that was all a dream or some nonsense. My mother used to watch Dallas. I didn't. So yes, Wesley is the great pirate Roberts. Well, so is Andre the Giant. There's been, according to that movie, numerous peoples have been the Dread Pirate Roberts. It's the Dread Pirate Roberts, by the way, not the Great Pirate Roberts. I am the Dread Pirate Roberts. It's Andre the Giant said it. Yes, Edith dies. Yes, Chuck just disappeared. 1 week he was there, and the next he was just gone. Yeah, John Wayne gets offed in the Cowboys. There's what, like 9 movies, I think, in which he dies in, if I remember right. I used to know what they all were, and I can't remember. I can remember a couple of them. I can't remember what all of them were right now. You had the Fighting Seabees, the Cowboys, Wake of the Red Witch. Oh, shit. Sansa Iwo Jima. And I'm drawing a blank on what the others were. Ron Wayne says Lieutenant Dan was fake. Well, Lieutenant Dan was a movie character and a not book character before the movie. Lieutenant Dan, you got new legs. How the hell do we get talking about this kind of stuff anyway? I don't remember. Was it Camp Pendleton or did they give it a fictional name? I don't recall. Find out. Camp Henderson. That's where Gomer Pyle was stationed. But It was in California, not too far from Pendleton. So, but yeah, it was on the show. It was Camp Henderson. Yeah, he went from basic training through his entire enlistment there. Got news for you, folks. That's not how it works. Ron says, when a Dollar General bag is blown by the wind and lands in a field, a new one grows. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if that were true. I have seen a Dollar General in the middle of a field with nothing around it. Yes, I know that's where the actual set was, but where it was supposed to be was, yeah, that's why it didn't take long for them to get from Mayberry to Camp Henderson. It was, they were right next door to each other. Yeah. In show lore, it was supposed to be in the same general area. Probably a satellite of Pendleton, if they were to say something along those lines. Though Pendleton would have been farther down the coast because Pendleton's closer to San Diego than LA. There's that. My brother was stationed at Pendleton. I think that's where my uncle went to. I think he was out in Pendleton when he wasn't in Okinawa. Yeah, pretty much. That's what they did. Gizzard said build about 3 huts and put gravel in between instant marine base. Yep, that's pretty much what the set for Gomer Pyle was. That's pretty much what it was. Ron Wayne says in the 1966 False Face episode Part 2 chase scene, they drove by Gomer's barracks. You can clearly see it. Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. Gizzard says on certain Gilligan's Island episodes, you can see cars in the background on the hills. Yeah, it's like that in a lot of old westerns too. If you pay attention to the background, you can see like electricity lines and whatnot running in the background, like high tension power lines. That whoops, somebody got in the shot when they shouldn't have, or like cars in the distance on driving down a road that somebody accidentally got in the shot. And we're not talking like the cheap B westerns either. It's like some big budget westerns will be that way. Yeah. Gizzard says amazing how clothes nowadays fall apart after a year or two. The Gilligan's Island cast wore the same clothes for 15 years. Ron says, wasn't the lagoon stagnant water? Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. And it wasn't very deep either. That is the question that nobody ever had an answer for, Gary. That's why did the house pack all those trunks for a 3 hour tour or a 3 hour boat ride? Yeah, who knows? They were only going for a 3 hour tour. Were they planning to hijack the boat and make them go somewhere else? What the hell? Were they changing clothes every 15 minutes? Patriot in the dark side 3 says, bring on the midget tossing. Rob says they used to make clothes over the last 10 to 15 years. And Gary says, not if you wore them every day. Nope. What are you doing? Yeah. Sorry, I was talking. I just noticed a cat had hit the keyboard button and had muted it, and I didn't realize it until just now. Gizzard says, surely someone would have got with Marianne in 15 years. Just saying. Yeah. Or Ginger. I mean, to get both of them on the island for 15 years, no other women except Mrs. Howe. Come on. Ow! Stupid cat. You know, I didn't say they were equal, Gary, but when you got they're the two choices. I mean, or Mrs. Howe, somebody's going to get with Ginger too. That's all I'm saying. Lord Almighty. Prop says, yeah, it's a sad night when they keep running away. Oh, man. I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. No, I missed this comment from Ron Wayne a little bit earlier. He said he thinks the Howes paid Gilligan to be a patsy to keep him on the island, evading the IRS. Hmm, there's a possibility. And Patriot says he thinks the skipper was a little closer to Gilligan than most people accepted. And Gizzard says, explain how a millionaire couple, a professor, a Hollywood actress, and a Kansas farm girl all ended up on the same low rent tour boat. I could see the professor and the Kansas farm girl because, depending on what he was a professor of, there's not a whole lot of money in it. And he was some kind of scientist guy from the way he talked. So him and the Kansas farm girl, I could see, but the Hollywood starlet and the millionaire couple, you got a point, Gary. What were they doing on that low rent tour in the first place? Yes, there is actually a promotional video that was put out about that, Ron. He's saying about the Spaceballs 2 uh, happening. God, I don't know if I could show that on here or not. It was pretty good. I mean, other channels have, so see if I can find it. And yes, the members of the original cast that survive are coming back to it. It's not going to be here until 2027, but yes, the original cast is coming back. I'm trying to just find the trailer to it that they just released. Yeah, that includes Mel Brooks, Rick Moranis, Bill Pullman. Yeah. So, is this the right one? Let me see. Is all right. Let me come up here. Do this. Do this. And then.
After 40 years, we asked, what do the fans want? But instead, we're making this movie. May the Schwartz be with you.
There you go. Nah, it's all kinds of people have been showing the trailer on their YouTube channels. So it's okay if you're talking about it. It's not Warner Brothers. If it were Warner Brothers, yeah, that Warner Brothers stops streams and shit all the time for showing freaking trailers and whatnot. You're not they don't believe in fair use whatsoever. But, yep, that's it, man. That was the trailer for Spaceballs 2 that they just put out. Yeah. I'm not going to be showing nudity, Gary. That's not going to be an issue. Ron says he hopes they don't replace Barf. Nah, I don't think they're going to replace. They're not going to put it. I don't know if they're. I don't think they're going to recast. They may put a new character. I don't think they're going to recast him. Rob says he's cool with nudity if she looks good. Mel Brooks just turned 99 years old, too. 99 years old. He can play yogurt now without makeup. Kisser says, bad enough you get to see Greta Thunberg on the news this week. Oh, yeah, where she got arrested and deported from Israel. Before she even set foot in Israel. Oh, man. Thought they were going into Gaza. Yeah. And then, was it yesterday, day before, you had the protest? The people thought they were going to go through Egypt to get into Gaza. And then they found out the hard way that wasn't going to work either, as they're being beat up and arrested by the Egyptian authorities for trying it. And promptly finding themselves deported that way, too. But, yeah. Finding out the rest of the Middle East doesn't think so highly of Gaza as these idiots do. There's a reason why Egypt put a wall between Gaza and Egypt. Let's be perfectly honest. Israel's not the only ones that put a wall up between Gaza and themselves. Egypt has one too. And these idiots thought they were going to break down the wall in Egypt to get from Egypt to Gaza, and Egypt wouldn't have none of that. And they weren't as nice about it as Israel was. I don't know about that one, Moo. Naked chicks on the screen, huh? Good God. I'd get arrested for child pornography if I did that, Gary. Says she's over 18, but damn, that kid don't look like she's more than freaking 12. So Gary wants naked chicks. Huh? Well, there you go, Gary. There's some naked chickens for you. Featherless chickens. Naked, technically speaking, they are naked chickens. Naked chicks. There you go. You asked, you received. Yeah, she's 22. She's, yeah, like I said, she doesn't look it though. She looks like she's maybe 12 years old. I mean, Jesus. Ron Wayne says, "Oh, how about those Bears? Don't know yet. Any football season." And then Ken's Barbecue's asking if Artek showed up. Let's not go there. Moose says, "Duh, Bears." Yes. Rest in peace, George Wayne. Norm. Yep. Hey, everybody. Yep. No Rosie O'Donnell either. What? She died? I thought she just moved to Ireland. She's like the one celebrity that actually kept her promise and moved. Kisser says hashtag stay gone. Yeah. Yeah, she can stay gone. I'm not going to miss her. Yeah, she's been bitching because Ireland wants to kick out all the Muslims now. She, she's like, I moved away from the United States to get away from all those racists wanting to get rid of the undocumented migrants, and now we got Ireland. They're wanting to get rid of all the Muslim immigrants from. Like, I just had to laugh at that one. Like, yeah, okay. Sounds like a plan to me. Get rid of them too. Send them back where they came from. Gary says, "Don't know if you can talk about Rosie. That might be a hippo violation." Is that like, I want to shot an elephant in my pajamas? How I got in my pajamas, I'll never know. Rosie O'Donnell, the human lawnmower. Did I ever figure out that comment picker thing? Huh? Happy Father's Day. It says Minnie Wayne. I'm about to say Happy Father's Day to Minnie Wayne, but Minnie Wayne's not a dad. At least not that we know of. Ooh, wouldn't that creep Misty out if Minnie Wayne were a father? Ooh, scary. You need to get a little G.I. Joe guy now, Ron, and make him up to look like Minnie Wayne. He could be Minnie Wayne. Rosie O'Donnell versus Roseanne Barr. Best 2 out of 3 falls. Yeah, but Roseanne Barr's on our side now, supposedly. Uh, comment picker thing. I don't remember. You stumped me, Jacob. I don't remember what we were talking about. comment picker thing. Ooh, and Mini Wayne could have Mini Wayne sit on his lap on the rocking chair. Mini Wayne says he likes to watch tree grafting. And Moo says either way, we're out of sandwiches. Had fish sandwiches for dinner tonight. Oh, Mrs. Wayne. You know. Ah! It's a Mini Wayne overlay. Misty's like, y'all ain't right in the head. Barbecue says, what if Mini Wayne was the father of all Mrs. Wayne's children, and that's the real reason she dislikes him so much? So he's her ex, is what you're saying? I, I honestly, Jacob, I don't remember that. I know how to. I know there's a comment picker. That's not. You just have to have somebody. People. You have a post that people make comments on. Then you just set the comment picker to that video, and then you hit pick, and it just goes through the comments and picks somebody at random. I know how that one works. That's not that. That's no big deal. I know how those work. But it might have been somebody else that you were watching that said something, but I don't remember talking about that last week. But then I don't remember half of what we talked about last week, so we may very well have, and I just don't remember. Oh, Moo said he made walleye sandwiches last night and spilled panko all over the kitchen. Pissed his wife off. Pissed off Mrs. Moo, did you? Misty has not denied that Mini Wayne is her ex out there in the chat. Just saying. There's not been a denial. So maybe you are onto something, Barbecue. Yes, Moo, you're supposed to knock the walleye out first before breading it. Then it doesn't knock the panko all over the place. Did you buy her a new knife set, Moo? Something somebody else won't do. Barbecue says, yep, he left to get her Pall Malls and never returned. Then one day Ron found Mini Wayne totally unknowing of the past between Misty and Minnie, and now it's all a charade by Misty because she is afraid. And Misty says, no, not her ex, because she stopped dating dummies a long time ago. Yeah, no kidding. That's why he's your ex. Going bing. Anyway, yes, that's a good thing, Moo. That's an improvement. No fire. That's an improvement. And Barbecue says, afraid the truth will eventually be revealed. Mm-hmm. And Rod says, laughing his ass off, many conspiracy theories. Hey, why not? We were talking real conspiracy theories earlier. Um, Master of puppets pulling your strings, twisting your mind, smashing your dreams. Blinded by me, you can't see a thing. Just call my name, I hear you scream. Master, master. Uh, oh no, Moo. No. Bad Moo. Bad Moo. He said he did set the back patio on fire yesterday. Rob says he threw a Roman candle in a fire. What a disappointment. Yeah, yeah. Can't believe Hollywood, Rob. Did Moo have a grease fire? No, he had a patio fire. Weren't you just paying attention? What? Rob says the patio had it coming. There was a box that had a bunch of foam in it. Okay. Oh, good Lord. No, we didn't start the fire. Moo did. Somebody needs to tell Billy Joel we solved who started the fire. It was Moo. Moo did it. It's all Moo's fault. Moo needs to combine his two favorite hobbies: accidentally setting fires and then falling on ice and busting his ass. Combine them together into one thing. Oh man, oh man. How long was we been doing this? Oh, good Lord, going on a half hour. Woohoo. Half hour. Hour and a half. What am I saying? Half hour. Slip sliding away. Yeah, that'll be Moose slip sliding away after he falls on his butt to get away from the fire. No, that was his father's, Ron. Mood says he did break his ass yesterday. Didn't catch it on video yet, though. So. Ron says, "Oh, he's bad." About the patio set, I'm guessing. Yeah, it was more of a porch swing kind of thing that he caught on fire. But yeah, yep. Moo thought it would make a good campfire. Does Rob eat crackers with his salad? I don't know. Is he a cannibal? Bing. Oh, you were tossing something there, Rob. Quiet, you stupid cat. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Some help from you now. Oh, God, you guys got me singing Scooby-Doo songs. Oh, Christ. Going on an hour and a half still. It's like, go faster, clock. Can't believe we went an hour and a half already. Somehow I managed to get this far. Whoa. And the chat has been killed by Rob. Rob killed it. It's his fault. Nobody's saying nothing out there now. Somebody say something. Hello. Ron Wayne asks, favorite Scooby-Doo guest star? Batman and Robin. I was always a Batman fan as a kid. Still am. So, Batman and Robin. Jacob S. says something. Yay. Jacob's learning. Learning what? I don't know, but he's learning. Gary says hello from the other side. Oh, so Gary died. Okay. Ron says his favorite was Don Knotts. Actually, Jacob, there were two Batman and Robin episodes of Scooby Doo. They did two of them. Gary says, feed Jake. He's been a good dog. Well, what the hell are you doing here, Rob? Good Lord. To be or not to be? That's a good Mel Brooks movie. If you've never seen To Be or Not to Be, it's actually a remake of an old Jack Benny movie. Gizzard says Jacob should go to the insurance school so he can be Jake from State Farm. And Gary says, "He's sure he already owns a pair of khakis?" Yeah, Jacob probably does own khakis. He seems like a khaki person. And Rob's still drinking Captain Morgan, he says. And Jacob says he wears jeans everywhere. Unless he's at home, then he wears khakis. Yeah, definitely would be awkward in the pool to be wearing khakis or jeans. Well, they make khaki shorts, Jacob. He's not John Cena, Moo. Come on. Hashtag cargo shorts. Yeah, I may have a few pairs of cargo shorts. Jacob says he hates khakis. That's just what somebody who wears khakis all the time would say. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. If Jacob hates khakis, it's a good thing he didn't go in the Marine Corps. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say on that. About that. Oh boy. Is it one? Hey, we made it to an hour and 30 minutes. I don't know if we're gonna make it to 2 hours. This toga, toga. Yeah, I think Moo meant to say, "Is that a pledge pin on your uniform?" But he spelled it wrong. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't. But then the toga toga thing kind of makes would make that make sense. I swear, I thought she was 18. Putting on the Ritz there, Ron. Ron's doing his impression of Frankenstein's monster. We're on the Ritz. Speaking of Mel Brooks, That's three Mel Brooks movies. Three uh, uh, mentioned in this stream so far. Smoke, good, fire, bad. Rob says he's got a fire going now. The new sheriff is a. Uh huh. Candygram for Mongo. Candygram for Mongo. You got it tough. I had to invent the Candygram. Oh, man. Welcome to Random Movie Scene. A Laurel and Hardy handshake to our new. I'll leave it at that. Rape, murder, wrestling, bank robbery, rape. You said rape twice. I like rape. Kinky. Oh, man. Blazing Saddles is a quotable movie. That's all there is to it. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Screw you. I work for Mel Brooks. That's it. No more beans. What in the wide world of sports is going on in here? Whew, that was a $200 hand cart. Oh, man. Don't let us scare you away, Ron, says Rob. Says Rob. Why, Ron leaving? Arrivederci. leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when he'll be back again. Oh boy. Yeah. I'm just watching the timer at this point. Oh God. Golly, Sergeant Carter. Bad impressions are free. Moose says stop singing. I haven't started yet. So Rob said he had a porcupine in his yard 2 days ago. First time he's seen one locally. Give me a ticket for an airplane. Ain't got time to take a fast train. Lonely days are gone. I'm a going home. My baby just wrote me a letter. God. Quit making me sing songs, Gary. It's all your fault. Abe Lincoln. Did you say Abe Lincoln? Uh, what's your name? Achoo! Gesundheit. So he also got a possum and a skunk. He's got a crack hoe gang of animals out there in his yard. Good Lord Almighty. What is you people getting up to in New York? Good Lord Almighty. The porcupines, the possums, and the skunks are all coming after you. Help, I'm drowning. Stand up. uh, Rob says, no, I try to avoid them. Yes, but they're not trying to avoid you. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. Gonna make a brand new start of it. No, New York. Good Lord. If I'm going to sing Sinatra, I'm going to sing it like a lounge singer. If you don't like it, too bad. Rob said, lots of local wildlife moving in. Ooh, wildlife is encroaching. It's taking back. The wildlife is taking back. It's coming to get you, Barbara. Wait, it's wildlife, not zombies. What if it's zombie wildlife? Those vagabond shoes. Are longing to stray. Yeah. God. Quit it, Gary. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord Almighty. I feel sorry for the people that watch us in the in replay and weren't here for it when it was live. When you get caught between the moon and New York City, I know it's crazy, but it's true. If you get caught between the moon and New York City, the best that you can do, the best that you can do, the best that you can do is fall in love. Just ask Arthur. Arthur got caught between the moon and New York City. Yeah. Oh man. somebody else pop in here finally?
Yeah, I couldn't take the singing.
It's Gary's fault.
I figured I'd come in here, try and separate everybody. I don't know how much longer you're going with this, but however long it is, we could not go through that kind of fucking torture. We should send you to Guantanamo.
I was doing it intentionally.
Forget, stacking guys up naked in a fucking pyramid and putting eggs in their ass cheeks. We just have them listen to you sing. Far more effective. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. I was singing goofily too. This is the worst part.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Mr. Mel Torme, or no, Robert Goulet. Yes, that's it. It's your fault, Gary.
Ethel Merman.
It's all Gary's fault.
Gary could jump in here.
You could have done that how long ago?
You could have.
Shit. Where's Steven Sheets when you need him?
He's not half bad.
No.
Not half good, but not half bad.
We sang a duet before he deleted his channel.
Oh, why did he delete his channel? Probably had a bunch of people commenting on his stuff being assholes.
Yeah, this was when he deleted his first channel.
Oh.
Yeah, he deleted his channel and then he restarted it again.
Gotcha. Haven't seen him around in a while.
So he's been around. Sometimes on Gary's show, he'll pop in. He popped in the chat last week here.
Oh, I was asleep last week. Missed the whole show. I think I told you that Wednesday night in Gary's after chat.
Yeah, Gary says, when I sing a song, that song is totally mine. No one else wants it back. That might be true. Gizzard says he senses a karaoke battle. Keep dreaming. But, me and Steven on his channel, this was a couple years ago now, we did Devil Went Down to Georgia. He had some prick go on his channel because he would just throw in links out into the chat. Always a bad idea. And some prick went on there and started undressing on his channel and shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Let's say.
So
I only had it in 300 episodes of putting the link out there every night. I only ever had one problem, and that was guarantee it was because of all that shit with Tupperware. Because one, that problem happened, which really all it was a prolapsed anus that got flashed on the screen, and I was fucking quick on the trigger. I mean, you had to go back and like watch frame by frame to catch it. Like, because I was like, I'm not sure who this is, but we're gonna see. And clicked on them and, hey, how's it going? And they're quiet. And I'm already getting ready to click them off. I was already hovering over them, waiting to see if the camera was going to pop on or something and be ready to go. But they're not saying anything, and I'm about ready to pull the plug on them. And their camera clicks on, and I was like, pow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, somebody told me about when that happened with Steven, and it was like, seriously? Like, dude, tell him I'll go on his show with him. And he won't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff. You know, I'll give him my email and stuff, and he can send me a link, and I'll go on the show with him. And he had a good old time, man. We were singing songs and stuff. He was just having a blast.
Mm-hmm.
And then some prick started on him, and then about that same time, his dad got real sick, and he deleted the channel. So.
Yeah, you gotta ignore the pricks. That's why I don't listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Dale Pogue's out there. He missed the rock concert.
It was not a rock concert. Think of William Hung on American Idol, and then think of William Hung with Down syndrome and fluent in English. And that was what happened on Rich's show right before I jumped in. And that's not a slight at Down syndrome people. They're great people, unlike Rich. But it was the best way to describe the singing that was going on. I apologize to anybody out there with Down syndrome.
Oh, man. It's been a long day. And I'm tired, and I was acting silly. What else can I
It was
say?
something.
Yeah.
It was something.
Doesn't hurt that I'm congested, too. So.
Oh yeah, that was the fucking problem. Yep.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your pitch was just off because of the congestion. Yep.
Oh, no, that pitch was off because I was doing it intentionally. I wasn't singing anything serious. I was just doing it goofily.
Yep. Just like when we fight, it's all work.
Yep.
Yep.
No, it was. I was intentionally doing it that way.
Somebody out there, like right now, Googling, what does it mean it's a work?
I know, right? You're like, what's that mean? Don't work yourself into a shoot, brother. That's really going to get him. That might be a clue. Hope maybe.
It would be. Fucking shit stain.
Yeah, Gary's like, how hard can it be to karaoke Devil Went Down to Georgia? It's almost entirely spoken. Oh, here's the thing. I was doing the version by Charlie Daniels Band. He was doing the cover by somebody else, which has slightly different lyrics.
What was he doing? That went down to Jamaica.
No,
Looking to sell some weed, using a band. He's way behind.
it's the same. It's the
indeed.
same. It's no, nothing like that. We're talking Stephen Sheets, man. You think he's doing a song about weed? Come on.
It'd be fucking awesome, wouldn't it? Just think about it for a second. Oh shit. We need Jacob S. and Stephen Sheets to do Dibble Went Down to Jamaica.
Oh God. We need to introduce Jacob and Stephen first before they can do any of that.
I feel like they'd really hit it off. They should do a podcast together.
Yeah. It could be different.
I also feel like a podcast with Jacob S. and Warsaw would be a good one.
Oh,
that one would be really fucking entertaining. That could be really entertaining, I think.
Oh man. I don't think me and Warsaw doing a podcast would be
I'm not even trying to be a dick or anything. Like I legit think.
Oh yeah.
Those two personalities on a show together. That would be something.
Yeah. Well, I'm legitimately saying I don't think me and Warsaw would be a good idea to. You think you and I have had rounds? Good Lord! The night I went off on him on G23 show.
That is not having. That's just. That is not having rounds. That is punching down. There is a difference. Let's say having rounds, you and I can jab back and forth. That was just a polar bear slapping a seal. Do not be proud of that.
Oh, I beat the hell out. I kind of went off on him on that one. And he deserved it, though. He earned that beatdown.
Not saying he doesn't, but like, because like I've told him in actions, like, dude, I think you have a lot of potential, but sometimes you just get fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we're doing closing plugs, and you're like, hold on. And I'm like, what do you mean, hold on? Then all of a sudden, some fucking Russian sounding robot thing starts playing. And he's like, it's not Russian. I don't fucking care what comm block language it is.
Yeah. Or can I play my video? No. We're not doing my live stream so we can watch your goddamn show. Your video. Jesus Christ. Warsaw.
I still think Moo got it that night. I think Moo did it on purpose. And if Moo wishes to refute that, he can jump in here. Does Moo have a link?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, see, Moo, you have a link. You can jump here and refute this, but we're doing MovieQ. And Moo's like, oh, yeah, Warsaw has some stuff that he's saying out there about history and blah, 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 and all that. And said something about the link or something. And I was like, yeah, there you go. And never once said, like, yeah, in the side chat or text me or anything. Like, don't actually do that. Nothing like that. And I dropped the fucking link for him. Warsaw comes in. He's like, so fucking communism, or no, excuse me, socialism. Socialism it was.
It's
And I'm like,
always
what the fuck? This
socialism.
is a fucking barbecue chat.
With Warsaw, it's always socialism. It
It's
doesn't matter
socialism.
what the subject is. Doesn't matter
It
what you're
was one
talking
of the
about.
fucking isms. I don't even remember at this point. It was socialism or communism. It might have been both.
Yeah,
Either
Warsaw
way,
pop.
I think Moo did it on purpose just for the giggles.
Yeah,
Like I
Warsaw's done
said,
that on. I don't know how many things Warsaw has done that on. He shows up because somebody for some reason sends him a link, and next thing you know, it doesn't matter what the topic is. You can be talking about candy bars. Next thing you know, he's wanting to talk about socialism. It's like, dude, what the wrong with you? Talking about candy bars and shit like that, and you want to come in here and start talking about socialism? What the hell?
talking about candy bars and street fudge, and next thing you know, he's like, "Can you believe that they want to take your street fudge and give it to other people so they have more street fudge?"
Mm-hmm. And it's not an exaggeration, folks. If you guys haven't watched any of the stuff that Warsaw Patriot has been on before,
Rich, hold on,
that's exactly what he
stop.
does.
You've got like 5 people watching, and you know everybody that's watching has seen Warsaw. Come on,
Nuh-uh, there's more than 5. So, ha.
Mini Wayne doesn't count because he's watching with Ron, and now they're swabbing each other's cheeks.
They're trying to create mini Wayne.
And I mean the cheeks of their mouths, not any other cheeks. Sorry, that sentence left a door open.
Well, no, that's you got Q-tips. They're swabbing each other's teeth. They're trying to get the DNA so they can make mini Wayne.
Yes. But as we're, just in case nobody was listening earlier in the show to understand that there's a chance that Mini Wayne could be the actual father of all of Misty's children, and just never came back with her Paul Malls. I see, like, that's the part I think she's really upset about is he just left her with all the kids and never came back with the Paul Malls.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he would have came back with the Paul Malls and then left again, I think she'd have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
But since he didn't come back with the Paul Malls, she's like just pissed at him. Which, I mean, who can blame her? She's like the lady in the shoe. I don't know if that's true at all. I actually don't think so, from what I understand.
Misfits.
Actually, I need to go renew my membership to Ron's channel. There's a couple channels I need to renew memberships to, because after YouTube stopped taking my payment for the longest time, it finally just stopped trying, and I lost membership to everything, and eventually it let me do a super chat on Gary's show the one night. And I was like, holy shit, it's taking my payment again. So right then I rejoined Gary's members only stuff because I was already on his show. doing the super chat. So, but I haven't rejoined anybody else's because out of sight, out of mind type thing. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. You know, Misty says she only has one kid, and Ron can't deny him. So, I don't know. Looks like we finally got a denial after how long?
Took a while.
I know, right?
Paternity tests don't come back that quick.
Mm-hmm.
And say, I feel like Ron is probably divvying up the knives right now, and now she's like, no, it's yours, I swear, because she doesn't want to be unhappy with half her knives.
He's looking for all the blue ones.
Yep.
Oh, there's Gary.
Is he jumping in? Oh, hey, look at that.
Yeah. I don't know if he's saying anything.
What's going on, fellas?
I don't know. I mean, besides you trying to get me to sing?
Don't blame me for that shit.
You don't know. Yeah, I'm thoroughly blaming you.
I haven't heard any singing yet. I've heard some attempts. That's about
Yeah.
it. And I'm already going to have to make up for that later on in the week, I'm sure.
Are you going to get Snob to sing next?
Snob also cannot sing. He couldn't carry a tune in a semi.
Sorry, I was abusing Gary, I think 2 weeks ago in an after chat. I was doing some singing.
If he's going to sing, he should sing Rich White Baby. No,
Should rewrite that whole thing
it's been done.
and make a parody.
Sarge already did it.
Oh, shit, really?
Oh, yeah.
Why has
no
he
time
not
ago.
released the music video?
I believe it got played on Foul Territory, and I got a copyright strike for that. Well, a claim, not a strike, but you know what I mean. No, no, yeah, I come in here and y'all are quiet now. This is bullshit.
Well, we thought you were
want
still
to talk to me or what?
No, we thought you were still talking.
Oh,
You stopped talking, and we didn't know what to do because we thought you were still talking.
Oh, evidently not. No, I got a cat on my lap.
Rob says Snob is too busy.
Maybe. It is Father's Day. Some people are actually doing stuff on Father's Day. Some people actually have company on Father's Day, I hear.
Mm-hmm.
I did not.
I barely even saw my kids today, so.
And my daughter said something about it being Russell's first Father's Day, so I've been replaced. I'm now Grandpa, just Grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
But that's fair.
So, who's going to win, Israel or Iran?
Who's backing who?
The U.S. is backing Israel. Nobody's backing Iran.
I was going to say Israel's going to win because we wanted a reason to fuck with Iran for decades. So if they really want to play stupid games and find out, they'll find out. And like Trump prides himself on not having ever, or being the only president to not have started a war since how fucking long. But like if something like that happened, he would not hesitate to just drop all sorts of fucking bombs.
He'd be out there singing, "Bum
And,
bum 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 Iran, bum bum
Bum,
bum bum
bum,
bum
Iran.
Iran."
And the military-industrial complex is just sitting there waiting with bated breath for this to happen. Because, like I said, they've been looking for the fucking reason to go after Iran for years. So,
And the whole Iran potentially having some involvement in the attempt to assassinate Trump didn't help matters either. I don't know if you saw Netanyahu, but his statement that he did in English specifically to the American people about the war in Iran, he specifically mentioned that in his remarks, that one of the reasons why they're going after Iran is because they tried going after Trump.
What if
I don't
we
fully trust Netanyahu, though.
what
He
if we
plays both
drop
sides of the
Rosie
fence.
O'Donnell on Iran? That'd be pretty.
Drop Rosie O'Donnell on Iran?
Yeah.
That is
would-
crimes against humanity, and I'm not
Yeah,
talking against
that would be a war crime.
Rosie.
That would definitely be a
I
war
mean,
crime.
because like, think if she survived, and then they had to deal with her.
That's what I'm saying. You got to give her a parachute, give her a fighting chance.
They couldn't find a hijab that big.
Like earlier, when somebody said, Rosie versus Roseanne, best out of 2-3 falls, I was thinking, fuck, that could be the fall that makes the entire San Andreas Fault go up. I mean, we could be talking about a 9.5. That's a big deal.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to have that anywhere near California.
I'm going to kill this cat if he doesn't shut up.
Are you going to do it live on the air?
No, I don't think YouTube would appreciate that.
I don't know if there's anything against cats. YouTube loves cat videos.
Yeah, but I don't think they love cats being killed videos. There's a difference.
Just put at the end of the video, no cats were harmed in the making of this video. Then it's perfectly fine.
I've got the only camera shy cat in the whole wide world, I believe. I could do all kinds of cute
camera shy.
videos. And...
Oh, that. I thought you meant like, I'm thinking like, he jumps on your lap all the time. You turn on the camera.
Yeah, but if I turn on a camera while he's walking around in a house, he hides. I truly think he can see that infrared focus beam. Now Jacob's out there dogging the show. You do your own live stream. Let us get in the chat.
Hey, we came up with co-hosts for your live stream.
We already passed 2 hours, and what have we even talked about? Host your own stream. We'll talk about stuff.
You know, we're doing better than Seinfeld, okay? Seinfeld was only a half-hour long show about nothing. This has been a 2-hour show about nothing, I'll have you know.
Well, you're like Kramer Light.
We did have one serious topic, and then the show got derailed by the audience talking about...
I don't know how that happened either.
I don't either. It just did.
I just joined in the fray, but I didn't start. I didn't start it. No, but I fanned the flames. I won't lie to you, but might have thrown some gasoline on a time or two. But.
What derailed it? I don't remember.
Something about TV shows or something started.
I think it was Ron Wayne. May have been.
Yeah, it may have been Ron.
Was it Gilligan's Island?
It's always the quiet ones you got to
I'd
worry
have to
about.
scroll back up and find out. I don't remember exactly what TV show it was, but something about a TV show.
That's
I
what they
say
say. It's always the quiet ones you got to worry about.
also, the idea that like a millionaire and a Hollywood starlet would be on that,
That was later. It was already off
I
the
know.
rails
I'm
by
just
that point.
saying. I'm just saying. Like, I don't think it's that far fetched because one, like this idea, like they would be on this giant yacht taking this tour. Because again, it's a tour. It's not like we're
Hmm.
just hanging out, popping bottles, and all
Yeah,
this.
but you aren't going to
Stupid
hire
shit.
the two stupidest idiots in the harbor
Well, it's not that they're the two
unless
stupidest
they were
idiots.
dirt cheap.
Let's say wasn't the skipper Navy man,
Uh-huh.
and seems very proficient. The problem is his first mate is a fucking idiot. That or an evil genius. It's hard telling. So, and like they're probably not meeting the first mate. They're just meeting the skipper, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's great. Like, we're going on this tour."
Yeah, but especially when it comes to Mrs. Howe, she's taking one look at that boat and be like, I ain't getting on that.
Yeah, but Mr. Howe's like, "Oh, come on, buddy. It's just 3 hours. We're gonna have a great
And where
time."
the hell did they put all these trunks?
Hmm.
They must have
And
had one
why?
hell of a lot of storage underneath.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's probably what sunk the boat.
Hmm. Yeah. They unbalanced it with all that stuff of hers.
I can imagine how awkward that would be. A couple millionaires, a Hollywood starlet, and then
Hmm.
you've got this Kansas farm girl and this goofy professor who has no social skills whatsoever.
Well, like the professor, even like I could almost understand because, like he could probably be rolling in some dope. He was really successful scientist, all that. And by the way, he's kept all that fun jazz. It's not unplausible. The only one that really does kind of stick out is Marianne. Like how? Because then you could even say like, oh, this could have been, one of the more upscale tour boats. So how did Marianne afford to get on it?
I don't know. Maybe
Except if you look.
she found some rich guy in Boston because he wrote a song about her because he see my Marianne walking away,
Hmm.
with all his money probably.
But there's no guarantee of what the minnow looked like either, because you see at least 3 different boats that are the minnow.
And they're all
Yep.
little tiny boats, by the way,
It's
like 24-foot
one isn't
boats.
one isn't. There's a wide shot where it's pulling out of the port, and it's a fairly nice sized
That one
boat.
that's wrecked on the side of the island, those little 24-foot
Uh-huh.
Well,
boats.
clearly he had an entire fleet, which just goes to reinforce the idea that he was very successful, and this was
Well, you can make a lot of
the
money
tour de tête.
if you hire stupid help. You don't have to pay them very much.
Yep.
Yep, on 2 ways.
Gilligan was probably Polish.
Is he from Warsaw?
Anything's possible.
He'd be all right. Just let him sleep on the couch.
Hmm.
You say, well, we make fun of Polish people. Ironically, Einstein came from Poland. It's kind of funky how that works. That's what he drained all their brain energy.
Yeah, but then he opened up a chain of bagel restaurants later.
What?
Einstein's Bagels. You never heard of them?
Oh. Oh my
I
god.
guess George being on my lap is my Father's Day present. I'll take it.
Okay.
You didn't leave me any other presents anywhere in the house, did you?
Might have to go look.
He doesn't do that unless it's puke or fur balls.
Uh-huh.
Do we have an audience still? Yeah, we got 5
Yes.
people watching this. Wow.
Yeah. Now they're starting to go to bed.
Not if they're on the West Coast. It's only 8 o'clock there. Like Foss's people, they're still wide awake.
Misfits went to bed. Ron 2A's going to bed. Rob probably went to bed if Misfits Darling's going to bed.
Well, Ron 2A went to bed.
Yeah, I said that.
Jacob is barely here.
He says he's laying in bed listening. That's too much info, Jacob. We didn't need it.
Yeah.
Are you using the stranger?
Need to sing him a lullaby, Rich.
No. Done enough of that. Oh, Rob's
Say your
still there.
prayers, little one. Don't forget my son.
To include everyone. Tuck you in one more thing. Keep you free from sin. Till the
Sandman he comes. Sleep with one eye open. Gripping your pillow tight.
Exit.
Mr. Knives is out there. Chocolate.
Come in your eye.
What the heck?
Is that not how that goes?
Rob's taking shots. Knives is up. Yeah, you said Knives is out there. What am I doing?
I did.
Hi, Knives.
I would really love to hear the original version of Enter Sandman.
Original?
Yeah. So what everybody knows as Enter Sandman is a rewrite because was it Ulrich wrote it, I think? What's his face wrote it, and I think he gave it to Ulrich. And Ulrich's like, this is awesome, but this is too fucking dark. Like, you need to rewrite this a little bit so we can cut it. Like, apparently the original was a really dark, menacing song.
So you're saying it would have been better for Slayer than Metallica?
Perhaps. I'm surprised you guys didn't know that little tidbit. Yeah, I think Hatfield wrote it, and Ulrich was like, a little dark there, bud. But it could have been the other way around.
What Unforgiven is the best? 1, 2, or 3?
None of those pay-per-views were that, outstanding.
Don't care for 3.
1.
First one's best.
Yeah, definitely the first one.
Anything that begins with New Blood Joins This Earth has to be pretty damn good. So. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Yep, Jake. We lost Jacob.
Yep.
Started talking about Metallica. Not Jacob. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. And never mind that noise you heard.
Just the beast under your bed, in your closet, in your head.
Jacob, this is your conscience. You will stop entering Gizzard Gary giveaways. Jacob, this is your conscience. You will stop entering Gizzard Gary giveaways. Jacob, this is your conscience. You will send all the zipper pulls back to Gizzard Gary. Just kind of banking on that he fell asleep with the chat going still, so we're just going to roll with this. Jacob, this is your conscience. You're going to send all the zipper pulls back to Gizzard Gary. Jacob, this is your conscience. You're going to unsub Rich White.
Take oh, F that.
What?
He said, oh, F that.
Now that there's funny. I don't care who you are. So much for going to sleep. I'm going to keep it on just long enough to see what barbecue says. Okay, screw that barbecue.
Zipper pulls? No fucking way.
Screw that barbecue. Asshole. Probably what he said.
Probably.
Probably.
Who can blame him?
Sunday. Dang it.
Darn what?
So weird and quiet now.
Yeah.
This awkward silence brought to you by the subscribers that Rich Wright will never have to reach 500 subs.
Rob's wanting to listen to music now.
This is brought to you by The Sound of Silence. That boring Simon and Garfunkel version.
The sound of silence.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
And in the sacred light I saw your mom's massive bra fall. It was really frightening. Those boobs were down to her knees.
Oh, hell,
What?
isn't California on fire again? I mean, good Lord.
What I missed?
What?
You
I
see,
know what you said.
it never rains in Southern California.
Isn't it on fire again because of the riots? The riots that they say aren't happening, but then you see behind them as they're walking on the street of fire, as they say there's no rioting. It's all peaceful.
Hey, get off on a side street 2 or 3 blocks from where the riots are and then start filming and say, see, no riots. Mm-hmm. There's smoke in the background and everything.
Mm-hmm. My favorite, like I said last week, is still the one from Minnesota during the BLM stuff right after George Floyd, where the Asian reporter dude standing there on the sidewalk talking about how peaceful it is. Meanwhile, the store right behind him, it couldn't have been more than 20 feet, maybe 30 feet behind him, is burning down. It's like, dude, seriously?
I still stand behind what I said with the Minneapolis protest, where they, burnt down an entire precinct and a bunch of cop cars and stuff. Like that one, I'm like, okay, like I can get it. like when I was driving truck, the first time I was going to Minneapolis, and I told a couple other guys that I drove with that I was going there, like, dude, don't fuck around. Minneapolis cops, complete assholes, blah blah blah. Then like when I got to my deliveries in Minneapolis, the people that were unloading me told me the same thing, and I it's not like I brought it up. Like they would just tell you. I'm like, fuck. Then years later, is after I lost my vision. I was at a birthday party for my niece, and actually, no, it was when all this rioting and stuff happened, and we're just kind of talking about it, and my niece's stepdad, so I guess it would be her step uncle. He had brought over a new girlfriend. Well, it turns out the new girlfriend was apparently from the Minneapolis area, and she just blurted that out too, as like that's all I've ever heard is how terrible the policing was in the Minneapolis area and how disconnected they were from the citizens. And like in that sense, you know, I could equate it to like our founders going like, no, you're not representing us. You're not doing what we want you to do. Now, burning down your communities and looting and everything else, like, no, that's bad fucking idea. Probably not the greatest idea to like still cost yourself a bunch of fucking tax dollars by burning down the fucking police station and stuff. I think there's better ways, but like, I was like, I can understand it.
So you're in favor of burning down police stations, is that correct?
If they are tyrannical.
I don't get any of these riots. I mean, you get pissed off because something happened. So instead of going and protesting peacefully in the area where said thing happened, you burn down your neighborhood businesses.
Hey, it worked in Baltimore.
Like I said, the burning down your community and looting businesses and all that. Like, no, that that's just
I don't get it.
Yeah, say that's just people that are like, oh, I'm taking advantage of the situation, and then doing it in the name of.
Mm-hmm. In the name of love.
Oh, you're making Rob do more shots barbecue.
Oh God, was that you too?
Yes, that was you too.
Oh God, oh God, I threw up in my mouth a little bit. I hate you too. I fucking hate you too. Oh my God.
And you still haven't found what you're looking for? Is that
on the street with no name?
What is Sunday Bloody Sunday after all?
Mm-hmm.
And like, by the way, I realize like how that makes me sound saying like, oh yeah, I support the burning down of the police station. Like that sounds tyrannical and anti-police. I totally get that. And I'm not anti-police by any means, but with anything I had ever heard, like that police department was very them, and then there's the citizens. It was not their as it should have been. What I miss? I heard laughing.
Knives out there says you two sucks.
Thank God.
Barbecue's least favorite Super Bowl is probably the one where the Patriots won for the first time.
Who they play against?
The Rams, wasn't it? Or no?
Was it? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I don't know. They lost their first time.
Did somebody comment that, or are you just making that one up?
He's making it up.
Oh,
I said the reason why. No, that was the one where U2 was the halftime show.
oh, I thought you were just saying like I'm unpatriotic because of the Minneapolis comments.
No, because
Which I'm going to be like, that's
the
a clever one. I
Patriots
like that
won
one.
and U2 was the
Oh
halftime
God. Either way, and say either way that started the Brady dynasty, and
show.
the that's a bar fest on both fronts. Although, like, again, much like I have become a big fan of Aaron Rodgers since he goes on the Pat McAfee show for the last several years, and you get a inside look at the guy. It's not just the portrayal from the media, and you're like, oh, this guy's not bad. Like if you listen to the things that he's actually saying and whatnot, like yeah.
God, do something. He's quoting Billy Idol out there now.
Mm-hmm.
Who
We'll
is
yell.
who quoted Billy Idol?
Mr.
Knives.
Knives.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jacob S. cried more and more and more.
Mm-hmm.
In the
Find out who's out there
midnight
still.
hour, babe.
Even with what you were just saying about Rodgers, I still don't want him wearing a Steeler uniform this year.
Oh, I've been fucking dying for it.
Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry, but the guy can still throw dimes. I think the problem in New York was play calling and scheme. The front office is a fucking joke up there. You've got a solid front office in Pittsburgh. Obviously, offensive coordinators have been a huge issue in Pittsburgh for years now.
The head
But
coach has been an issue in
Better
Pittsburgh
hope
for
the
years now.
receivers can get open quick
Yes.
because he can't escape that pocket.
No. You better hope they improve that offensive line.
Yeah, first person that collapses that line, he's down.
So,
unless
but
you've got a
he's
good,
got a
strong
couple.
running game to keep everybody honest.
But the thing is, like, he doesn't have to throw bombs. We've got a couple really good young wide receivers. We got DK Metcalf as well, which is a absolute animal. Like, think about all the stuff that Brady threw until he got Randy Moss. Like, the Patriots weren't throwing bombs that often. They were throwing 3 or 4 yard quick shots and then letting the receivers try and turn it up the field.
Yeah, they also had a good offensive line, which gave Brady time to do that.
But Brady didn't need time to do it because when you're only throwing those 3 or 4 yard shots, I mean, it's a quick release of the ball.
Yeah, and there was time where Wilson didn't have 3 or 4 seconds to drop back and throw a ball.
Yeah, but they were looking to throw it deeper because friggin' Pickens was a prima donna.
Mm. Well, they were trying to dump stuff off too. He just didn't have time.
So
if you look at,
we'll see what happens. But Rodgers also works better out of the play action, which the Jets didn't run well. Like looking at some of the stuff they would run, like they would try and run a play action, but they'd overload the right side. Like you're giving it away instead of being balanced.
If you can't run the ball, you can't run a play action because nobody's going to stay put.
Which, I mean, they could run the ball. They had Breece Hall, and like that guy's tank himself. Honestly, it'd be nice if he played somewhere else other than the Jets, because I don't think he gets enough credit. But like if you're overloading one side, you're giving it away. So we'll see what happens. I'm optimistic. You know, the guy can hit a friggin' trash can at 70 yards. So,
and the Steelers don't have to play Kansas City all year, so that's good.
Although I did see a thing where somebody's predicting Lamar Jackson as MVP and Super Bowl MVP. Or no, I think they said he gets snubbed as MVP again this year, but he wins Super Bowl MVP.
Oh hell, you listen to
I was
some
like,
of these.
that's a hell of a prediction.
You listen to some of these people. Lamar Jackson should be MVP every year.
Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong, he does some amazing stuff. But, which I'm sorry, Tebow was Lamar Jackson before Lamar Jackson was ever in a fucking idea.
Well, the first thing you guys got to worry about is beating the Bengals.
Easy.
Really?
Burrow can't stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
If Burrow could stay healthy, I would worry. But Burrow can't stay healthy. And unfortunately, it's not his fault. They don't protect him. And I shouldn't say that. Like, I think partly it's his fault. I think he takes too big of risks. I think he has Andrew Luck syndrome, where he feels the need, like he has to carry that team. So he stays in there and takes the big hit and throwing the ball instead of throwing the ball away sometimes. And he doesn't realize by doing that, if he gets hurt, he's actually hurting the team.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's partly his fault.
Oh, you
But
get to play the Bears? Wow.
Yeah, but that means we also got to play Detroit.
And the Packers.
Packers weren't a bad team. They made the playoffs.
No, like the Packers.
Yeah, you got to go to
Packers
Detroit. You're going to lose.
They went into Dallas, and the Packers were expected to lose that game, and they fucking trounced the Cowboys.
Cowboys sucked last year.
Now, is Cleveland going to be a complete shit show, or
probably?
Oh yeah,
the Shadir Sanders show. Oh God.
Let's say because they got Sanders, they got the other guy that they took ahead of them. Mm-hmm. They should have never let Flacco go last season and kept him. Like, I don't care if friggin' Diddler thought that he was a threat. Like, the guy hasn't produced for you yet. Why would you go, oh, so we're going to get rid of Flacco to make him happy? You already gave him $250 million. Or $250 million, excuse me, $250 million. The guy's happy. It's guaranteed he can fuck off. You should have kept Flacco, not let him go to Indy. Then he did all right in Indy as well. Then the Browns bring him back. There's still no idea what the hell is happening with Diddler. Flacco now looking like the head of the QB room right now, trying to mentor these two young QBs and say, you're going to have the sideshow bullshit with Dion, guaranteed. And say, Shador brings his own sideshow without his dad in the first place. Like,
worst interviewed quarterback. A lot of this came out of according to NFL insiders, from a lot of coaching rooms on interview day with him. One of the worst QB interview ever.
I wish. I'm surprised that the NFL doesn't allow for those to be recorded and released.
Mm-hmm. That they're saying that's why he dropped it like a rock, like he did. He had the worst interview with the coaching staffs out of anybody ever.
Because, like, really, at the end of the day, like, what strategic advantage does it really give you knowing the questions that the other team's asking a guy?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're asking a guy questions because you want to know about them and how they're going to fit into your organization.
I mean, there's got to be a reason why he dropped the way he did. He was supposed to have been a top 3 pick, and he dropped to the 6th round?
I think 5th round. But still, to go from top 3
he dropped like a rock.
5th round, like, holy shit.
Yeah, there's something that the teams know.
Dion's like, oh yeah, my boys, top 4 easy. One of them, probably number one pick. There's a couple teams that we're definitely not going to. We're not going to those cities. Definitely pulling Eli. I feel like my Deion Sanders impression wasn't half bad there either. I'm going to toot my own horn. Fuck it. Don't care.
You don't have near enough jewelry to do a Deion impression.
I don't think that's my only problem.
Who does Deion pay attention more this year, the Cleveland Browns or the Colorado Buffaloes?
Is Stefanski up for contract at the end of the season?
I have no idea.
Because if Stefanski is up for contract, I say the Browns.
He is the coach at Colorado.
For now.
Yeah.
I'm still really surprised that Jerry Jones didn't pick him up with how far he fell. Because there's already talk that Jerry Jones wanted him. Because there's talk that when McCarthy was up, they were going to release McCarthy and sign Deion to be the head coach.
It was funny, and all the reporting after day one, and he was still on the board. He didn't go until day 3. Like, oh shit!
Was that the worst slide in draft history?
Oh, it's the worst I can remember. Beginning of college offseason, he was still in the running and talk that he was number 1 pick overall. And then here comes the combine, the interviews and everything, and boom, he just drops. Everybody starts having second thoughts around the time of the combine and his pro day. And everybody's like, yeah, he'll still go high in the first, and blah, blah, blah. I don't think anybody expected it to be that bad. Again, we don't know what went on in those interview rooms other than that numerous coaching staff said that he was the worst interview they ever had.
Well, if you walk in there like you're king shit, I'm just assuming, obviously none of us know, but I'm assuming he walked in there like king shit. I'm going to be able to go where I want and demand the money that I want because you know who I am and blah, blah, blah. Or he probably went into other teams and was like, I don't even know why I'm sitting here talking to you. I'm not going to be around when you get on the board. And that could be another reason that he dropped because they went, really? Okay, well, thank you. Appreciate that. And so they went, nope, not even fucking looking at him. Because
we don't know what questions were asked. I mean, he could have came out of there sounding like a goddamn idiot for all we know.
Idiot as in like football knowledge or idiot just as in, I don't know. Because anything I've ever heard, like his football IQ, pretty damn good.
Yeah. But you get what I'm saying. We don't know what questions were asked. That's what the point is.
I think the problem was just probably arrogance. You look at his dad's attitude, his attitude, and teams were just like, nope. We're not dealing with this. This isn't going to be coachable.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if with some teams he's like, I don't even know why I'm talking to you. I'm not going to be around when you get on the board. Which, like, imagine how that would play out when teams got up there and they're like, oh, yeah. Remember what he said to us when we went to interview him? And they just went, well, who's next on the board for us? Like, yep, we're taking that guy.
Yeah, but there's a but. I mean, it's not a big one, and that's Eli Manning. If you remember back when he was drafted, he flat out told San Diego that he wasn't going to play for him, and they drafted him anyway, and they traded him to New York.
Yep.
Well, Elway did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it's not like there's not a precedent about somebody going and saying they're not going to play for a certain team. There's got to be a little bit more than just that. I mean, that could be, that's part of it. I'm sure that's part of it, but there's got to be more. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm flat out saying, like, he went in and said, I don't even know why you guys want to talk to me. I'm not going to be on the board. And, like, that was end of interview. Like, he wasn't answering questions or nothing. Like, Eli, like, I'm sure he went in and was cordial with San Diego, all that fun jazz, but then was very vocal, like, I'm not going to play for the Chargers, period. And then, teams are like, well, when we throw this bag at them, they'll change their tune. And he's still like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do it. Because, like, how many times have we seen that where a player would be like, I don't want to go there, and then that bag gets thrown at them, they're like, oh, well.
Yeah, but divas get signed all the time, too.
What's that?
I said there's guys that are divas that get signed all the time, too. Terrell Owens comes to mind.
Yeah, but
probably the biggest diva to ever play in the game.
And say, I'm not young enough to know what Owens was like, or like Chad Johnson even. I don't know what either one of those guys were like out of college.
Chad Johnson was nothing like Owens. Chad Johnson was just a goofy guy who would go out there and say some shit about the other team and stuff. Owens was saying shit about his own quarterbacks. He did it on every team he played.
But
if something went wrong, he was throwing the quarterback under the bus right away.
But here's my thing. Because right now we're just talking about drafted out of college.
Yeah.
Because, like, Shedeur Sanders could come out and just be an absolute friggin' beast. And if that's the case, like, the Browns might get tired of him, but if this guy is putting up monster numbers, he'll go get signed somewhere else. Mm-hmm. That's no problem. Like, as long as you can play and you're playing at a
that's my point.
High competitive level, you'll have no problem getting signed. But and teams know when it comes to quarterbacks, it's a fucking crapshoot. Like Ryan Leaf.
That's why I think it's more than just attitude. That's part of the problem. There's got to be something else that, besides just his attitude, that made him fall that far in the draft when he was a projected number one potential draft pick at one point. You get what I'm saying? I mean, there's got to be something else in testing or something that they did in that interview which made him fall so bad. I don't think it's just attitude. It's got to be how he answered questions or something. It's got to be something along those lines.
It's possible. Who was it? There was somebody, I don't remember who it was years ago, that sat down with a couple teams and he was like, I don't even know why I'm talking to you guys. I'm not going to be on the board when you get up. But she was right, but still.
You never know what's going to happen during the draft. Teams trade picks all the time and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how many people were expecting Pittsburgh to go up to number 11 to get Roethlisberger? Or that Roethlisberger was even going to be there at number 11?
Well, then didn't they trade up to get Pickett?
I don't remember if they did or not.
I say because they got Pickett at 11 also.
Yeah, but they were coming off of an 8-8 year or something that year too.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't remember if they traded up for him or not, but
Yeah, they were like when they drafted Roethlisberger, they had like one of the high picks. They were down low on the draft board that year.
Well, look at
They were
49ers.
Yeah.
Trading up for Justin Fields. Like that was fucking brilliant, by the way. By the way, have we ran off everybody talking about sports ball?
There's still 3 people out there on the YouTube side. How did we even get talking about football? I don't even remember how. We just did. We just started talking about football for some reason. Oh, I know why. Because Knives brought up U2. That's how.
Yep.
And that transitioned over to football because of the 2001 Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I talked about Brady and Rodgers and all that, and we started from Rodgers. And what I was saying about Brady is, like, Brady was really easy to hate.
Mm-hmm.
But now that he is away from football in the sense that he's not playing, and you get to hear him on podcasts, and you just hear this guy speak his mind on stuff and what he's disliking about the game, like, Brady's really, really easy to like.
He sucks as a commentator, though.
I haven't heard any of the games that he's commentated.
Oh my God, he sucks at it. He is not good.
Meanwhile, Bill Belichick seems to be getting along just fine. He's got him a college job now and a 25-year-old girlfriend or something like that.
Yeah. You guys can say college job, girlfriend that just graduated from college.
Mm-hmm. He's like, my girlfriend is not going to be involved in any way in the coaching staff. It's like, what?
Well, it's a good way to get a train ran on her.
He's like putting out guarantees that his girlfriend is not going to be sticking her nose in the coaching booth already. They're like, what the hell are you talking about, Bill? Is this really a concern in North Carolina that his girlfriend's going to be sticking her nose into things?
He ain't even allowed to talk. Have you ever seen the interviews with him? She's right there. And she's off to the side, and she will shut him down if they ask him the wrong questions.
Jesus.
Oh, my God. It's like the poor old 72-year-old guy's just kind of wound up in a puppy dog.
You think
Belichick? He's riding is what you're saying.
Yeah. Except a lot better looking than Jill. Yeah. Dr. Jill.
Mm-hmm. She's a great medical doctor.
Sure she is.
The thing is, like, North Carolina, like, it'll be interesting to see what they're like this season because their entire coaching staff is, like, just former NFL coaches. They found out that Belichick was going there, and they're like, yo, let's do this.
It's all fine and good. You still got to have a couple recruiting classes to make any kind of impact because otherwise you're just coaching the old coaches' recruits.
Yep.
Well, right now it's going to happen. But if these guys can mold young players like they're supposed to be able to, then they should be able to kind of get these guys into shape. And then the next couple of recruiting classes that they have coming, when they get to start recruiting guys, like, how easy is it going to be to get guys to go to North Carolina when you say, we've got, special teams coach so-and-so from this former NFL team and this offensive coordinator who was the head coach for this NFL team, or, et cetera, et cetera. Like, there's going to be guys left and right ready to commit. The real thing is, will they be able to scout well to get the right commits?
God, they got to start the season against TCU. Wow, it's a tough start right there. Then they get to play Clemson. That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm. If Clemson's back up to form, anyway. They had a down year last year.
Charlotte should be a piece of cake. Richmond better be a piece of cake. UCF, I don't know about UCF. They're usually pretty tough. Cal, you got to go to Cal and play. They have Stanford. They have... Actually, Duke's not too bad anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Could be tough. At least they're playing in the ACC and not the SEC.
Roll Tide.
I don't know about that. Who the hell did they lose to?
Hell, I don't know.
Was it Citadel they lost to? I forget who the hell they lost to last year.
Citadel, the Confederacy's answer to West Point.
Seems like Alabama had 3 times the amount of people in the stands that they did. Oh, Vanderbilt. That's who I'm thinking of. Vanderbilt. Yeah.
Oh, the Harvard of the South.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Vandy.
Yeah. Not exactly an athletic school.
No. $23.5 underdog at home.
Yeah, Vandy's doing something if they make a bowl game. What, you gotta be 6-5 to be bowl eligible, some shit like that. There's way too many damn bowl games.
Toilet bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They should have a Gizzard Gary bowl. That'd be cool.
Shit, you sponsor it, I'm sure they create one.
Yeah.
There's got to be 2 sucky 6-5 teams out there somewhere that want to play in a bowl game.
It'd be D2 or something like that. That'd be my luck.
There's 119 teams in Division 1.
NAI.
Hey. The top division, there's 119 teams. Got to be 2 sucky teams out there somewhere that want to play in a bowl game that isn't created yet. You get a bowl game, and you get a bowl game, and you get a bowl
It's
game.
about like getting invited to the NIT. Yay.
Yeah.
Who cares? Who's going to those games? Nobody. We won the NIT. Oh, goody.
Goody.
You're the best of
That
the
makes
shitty teams that didn't
That
get
makes you the
invited.
65th best team in the league.
At best.
Mm-hmm. I remember one year when I was a kid, the NIT was being hosted in Pittsburgh, and they were making a big deal about it. So, yeah, who cares? Now, when they had the NCAA being hosted in Pittsburgh, that was a big deal.
Well, we don't get that. We used to occasionally get the Big 12 tournament, but in Kansas City. But anymore, that usually gets played in Oklahoma City because they have a bigger arena down there. But they have an NBA team and all that shit.
The Northeast Division 1 year was in a couple years has been in Pittsburgh.
So that's about the only basketball game that does get played in the T-Mobile Center because there's no major colleges there in Kansas City area unless you count UMKC, and they don't draw enough fans to fill the T-Mobile Center.
Yeah. The only basketball you get in Pittsburgh is college. Robert Morris, Carnegie Mellon, and Pitt.
If you're going to get a full arena for college basketball, it's going to be in Lawrence more than likely, or Wichita.
Mm-hmm.
Wichita State's got a pretty good size arena. They get pretty good crowds too.
And you get people that'll drive down from Morgantown to watch WVU.
Allen Fieldhouse is, you got to beg for tickets to Jayhawks games. They're just always sold out, even when they do suck.
They've tried getting pro basketball teams in Pittsburgh and semi-pro team. It never works. Nobody goes. Everybody just goes to the college games. Like, you got 3 universities, 4 if you count Duquesne, because they have a basketball team too. And then, like I said, right down the road you got WVU, their basketball team, which isn't that bad sometimes. So it's like nobody wants to bother paying to watch an NBA game. Everybody goes to the college games.
Well, they built that new arena about 15 years ago up in Kansas City, thinking they were going to attract either pro basketball or NHL or both to it. And I'm like, you have never proven that you can fill an arena on a regular basis. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well,
it's just not.
Yeah, the arena that Pitt plays in, they built that hoping they'd be able to attract a team there. And nope.
Meanwhile, Atlanta is in line to get their third NHL franchise.
Mm-hmm. And they lose them all to Canada. Calgary Flames, the current iteration of the Winnipeg Jets, both started in Atlanta. The Atlanta Thrashers and the Atlanta Flames.
I still don't know how they think that's going to work. That's dumb, but
yeah, they've done it twice and both times failed. Let's do it a third time. Third time's the charm. They should call them the Charms.
When you try to, Florida does a decent enough job at it. Vegas actually has done a really good job of managing their team. Of course, they were successful from the get-go. That helps too. When you win a freaking Stanley Cup the first year in the league,
Well, they didn't win they went to They didn't win their first year.
Well,
it was their third year, I think.
They've consistently been very
they've been
good.
consistently been a good team. A lot of that help came from Pittsburgh and a couple other teams.
But down south, it's hard if you don't have a hockey culture in that area. It's kind of hard to build up a fan base.
Yeah.
I mean, Canada's a no-brainer. All Canadians grow up playing hockey pretty much, so sure they're fans of it. But, Phoenix, that didn't work out so well.
No. Phoenix has never been good. They should just put them back up in Quebec, or not
Well,
Quebec.
they're in Utah
Harvard.
now.
They should have put them back. No, where the hell were they?
They were in Phoenix, but
yeah, I know, but where'd they move from?
Oh hell, I don't know.
Carolina was Harvard. Quebec went to Denver. Where the fuck was Phoenix?
I'm looking here.
Oh, Phoenix was the original Jets, Winnipeg Jets.
Yes, they were. Okay.
That's what it was.
They'll probably be successful in Utah. It's actually cold there.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else to do in Salt Lake City. And there's a shitload of people and money.
Utah's going to, it's going to go from one extreme to another if they make the playoffs. In winter, you're going to have plenty of ability to keep that ice nice and cool. But as soon as it gets to summer, beginning of June and playoffs, April, May, June, they're going to have trouble keeping that ice up maintained.
If they can do it in LA. Or Tampa.
Mm-hmm. Or Miami.
And Tampa always has problems with their ice.
Mm-hmm. Dallas.
Dallas did for a while.
Yeah. So there were games watching Dallas, and there were puddles on the ice. My favorite is the one where one year we had warm weather in spring or January, and they decided they were going to have the Winter Classic in Pittsburgh between the Flyers and Philly in Heinz Field, and it was raining.
Wow.
The game was delayed because they were trying to get the ice frozen again. It was a layer of slush on top.
Yeah.
It was like 50 degrees all day, and it was raining.
That makes it kind of tough.
Mm-hmm. And the temperature wasn't dropping as the evening progressed. They finally got the ice somewhat playable. And all the scoring was done in one zone.
Well, yeah.
The one side of ice was, you couldn't score.
Down to 2 total viewers on YouTube. Uh-oh.
Well, it's after midnight on the East Coast, too.
Where are all you West Coast people? Come on. Pacific time zone represent. We got Mr. Knives, unless he went to sleep.
And Knives hasn't said he left yet. But he hasn't said anything.
He could be asleep. No.
Yeah. 20 minutes. He hasn't said anything in 20 minutes, excuse me. So,
I don't think he's a hockey guy.
No. I don't think he's really a football guy either.
Probably a football guy.
Oh, good Lord.
Go!
Yeah.
Of course, they get excited. They score a goal about every 45 minutes.
Once every hour. Oh, man.
I actually like watching hockey. I have been to a few professional hockey games. It's way more fun to watch in person I believe, than on TV because you can actually see plays develop and shit.
Oh, and the sounds, like when somebody hits the boards, it sounds a whole lot different in person than what it does watching on TV.
I've actually sit like 2 rows away from the boards before at a hockey game, and you can literally you can tell when scores are going to happen because you can just see the play unfold. It's like, oh shit, he's going to be open if he can get the puck over to him. Yep.
And somebody gets ran into the boards, it's not, you don't just hear it, you feel it.
Oh, the boards move.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Mm-hmm. What's hard to realize when you're watching on TV is they're literally changing lines about every other time down the ice.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, it's a constant rotation. Unless you get stuck in the defensive zone, it's a constant rotation.
That's where you can get crossed up if you're not careful.
Mm-hmm.
If the team can move the puck while you're making a line change, yeah.
Oh yeah, it happens. You get caught in a line change, you're in trouble. That's when you get the odd man breaks 2-on-3, 3-on-1.
But that's what makes the game exciting.
2-on-1. Breakaways, all that kind of stuff.
That or to sit behind goal and watch a really good goalie in net.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty easy to appreciate. Holy shit, he had 3-on-1 and he held him off.
Mm-hmm.
That's a job I would not want.
Yeah, watching guys like Grant Fuhrer and Patrick Waugh.
Yeah, I wouldn't want a job where I have to take on 3 guys at once.
With a mask?
Martin
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a mask and these huge-ass pads you have to wear.
I think
they're coming at you with these sticks. Be terrifying.
You ever see the pants that hockey players wear? It's like clown
I'm
pants.
not wearing hockey pants.
See, hockey pants, you take the pads out and you just fill them with water and you take a bath right there in your pants. You know?
I don't know how they move with all that shit on.
Very carefully.
It's amazing the things they can do, and they're on skates.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, these guys have been ice skating all their lives, too. So
it's great on your knees, especially if you're a damn goaltender.
Wow.
No, I mean, it does real good for your knees, I'm telling you. My knees are shot.
The poor officials are out there in basically street clothes with these guys flying around them, getting knocked all over shit half the time.
Mm-hmm.
Puck flying around, they got to dodge.
Oh, yeah. Puck. Oh, yeah. I'm watching linesmen duck and dodge all the time.
Oh, yeah.
There's lots of times where that puck is just tattooed for their head and they just dodge out of the way at the last minute.
There's no choice.
Yeah. As somebody who's been hit in the face with a puck before, you don't want that to happen. It doesn't feel good. Once you get your senses back and realize that it's happened.
I saw a spectator get carted out of a hockey game on a stretcher. Yeah. Believe it or not, those nets don't cover everything.
Nope. And that glass is only so high.
If you go to watch a hockey game and you're anywhere near the ice, you better watch the hockey game.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean watch it.
Yeah, keep your head on a swivel.
If you're behind goal especially.
They do their best to try and keep that puck on the surface, but it doesn't always work. You might get a nice souvenir, but if that puck's going around
I ain't trying to catch that. I ain't trying to catch that slap shot coming from the blue line. Screw that shit. Let it bounce off something first.
Yeah.
I have a souvenir hockey puck from one of the semi-pro hockey teams here in this state, and those things, regulation hockey pucks, are heavy,
Yes, they are. And
and
then
they're frozen too. On top of
yes,
everything
yes,
else.
they are, which makes them feel that much more even. Okay, a hockey puck, for those of you who don't know, is a solid piece of vulcanized rubber that they then freeze. You want to talk about something that's dense?
Yeah, it's not foam rubber; it's heavy rubber.
Mm-hmm.
You should vulcanized rubber is, Rich.
You
You
broke
should
up there.
explain for the kind folks out there what
Explain
vulcanized rubber is.
vulcanization. Yeah.
Yeah, the same shit that your tires are made of your car.
What is it? What does it involve though? Come on, think of who Vulcan was.
Spock.
Well, thinking God wise.
Yeah, the god of
Rumble?
the god of smithing.
Yes, they're basically heated.
Yeah, superheated.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it very dense.
Yep, and very, very hard. And then they take that very, very hard, dense rubber and freeze it so that it gets a smooth, icy surface on it. But inside, a bunch of little ice crystals. So any little pores that are already in there that might still be in there, imperfections, are filling with ice and making that puck even harder.
Somewhere around here, I have a hockey puck.
And dumbasses like me go out there wearing pads, and we get in front of guys hitting these things with sticks.
Big, heavy sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Curved. With tape on them.
Yeah, I don't think my torso was absent of bruises until after a couple months after the hockey season ended. That's with pads. I mean, you have pads on, you still feel when that thing hits you, depending on how hard it was shot. And it's not uncommon to have 4 or 5 bruises on you after a hockey game if you're a goaltender.
I wonder where my puck is. Where the puck is my puck?
I don't know.
It's around here somewhere. I had it on my desk out at work for the longest time. They do make hellacious paperweights, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Any kind of weight.
But it's kind of hard to drive around and find a pickup hockey game, especially in this part of the country. It just doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose up in Canada, where it's wintertime 9 months out of the year, it's probably a different deal.
Oh, knives is taking off.
Good night, knives.
Night, knives. Yeah, we used to play street and deck hockey all the time. Even during the summer, we'd be out there playing hockey and stuff. But again, Northeast. And it really started taking off in the 80s.
Well, after After the Miracle on Ice, yeah.
Yeah.
People actually realized, oh, they play hockey here in America? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like lacrosse now.
Mm-hmm.
One of the 6 or 7 states that they actually play lacrosse in this country.
Used to have a professional lacrosse team in Pittsburgh at one point. I don't know. I don't think it's there anymore.
That's a wicked ass game too. Those balls fly. These guys have sticks in their hands.
Mm-hmm.
I think the balls there get clocked at something like 140 miles an hour.
I would want to be in front of one of them damn things.
Shit, I lie down there in like Miami and places where they play that shit. That's crazy too. How fast those balls go. Out of those like curved claw things, whatever they those things get a ball moving.
I've actually been overseas and watched them play cricket one time, and it's like, this has got to be the most boring game ever.
I think out of the foreign games that they play, like over in Europe and stuff, the one game that I can sit and watch is rugby. Like I'll watch an Olympic rugby game.
I think curling is cool as hell sometimes.
Yeah, curling's cool, but that's Canada. So, but
it's basically
rugby,
shuffleboard on ice, basically.
Yep.
Giant
rugby
brick.
bores me. Shuffleboard. Damn it. Curling's pretty sweet though. Rugby, I just don't understand the rules. Like all of a sudden, for no reason, it's just going the other way again. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
How about Australian rules football? I never have figured out what the hell the rules are to that game.
I used to watch that all the time on ESPN. That shit is crazy.
Oh, I know. All of a sudden they're running around. All of a sudden they're kicking, and the goals are everywhere. And I'm like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that used to be one of the sports that ESPN had before they really broke through and got like the NFL and Major League Baseball and stuff. And used to watch that shit all the time because it would be Australian rules football or full contact karate tournaments or shit like that. It's like I'm watching Australian rules football.
look who's out there. The sunshine that brightens our day.
Yep.
What's up, Jesse?
ESPN was cool back in the day when it had all the obscure sports that nobody else put on.
The Ocho.
You're watching ESPN.
Mm-hmm. And remember the videos they used to put out with the different sports bloopers and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
ESPN did. That was fun. Those were funny as hell too.
Back in the day, CNN used to have a nightly sports show. It's actually pretty awesome. CNN Sports Tonight.
Mm-hmm. Dang, I probably should have said this earlier, but I want to say happy birthday to the United States Army. Yesterday was the 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States Army. My branch of service.
Only 3 hours in.
Yeah.
Everybody heard that. Good job.
Yep. Well, there are people that watch on replay. I meant to say that earlier, and it's one of the things I got distracted about. Because I wanted to talk about how all the Democrats were throwing a Fitbit at the parade, saying it's like North Korea and all this other happy horse shit. I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
No. Did Rich just eat his microphone?
No. I just got kicked out for a second by Rumble.
Oh.
Yeah. Something went wrong. But yeah, I was.
Let's get ready to rumble.
I started talking about how Democrats were bitching about the army parade and got kicked out. Oh, it's like North Korea.
They're probably all Navy grads.
Oh no, it's tyranny. It's like North Korea. This is a democracy. We can't have the blah, blah. Like, oh, shut the fuck up, you losers. And you got the ones, oh, Trump's only doing it because it's his 79th birthday. That's why and it's the Army's birthday, but because it's Trump's birthday too. This was scheduled during the Biden administration to happen. I mean, this was planned over a year in advance because they knew it was going to be a big undertaking because it wasn't just happening in D.C. It was happening all over the country in places they were doing these parades around the same time period. All the various military installations, the units from those places were doing parades in the cities where the military installations were. You know, you only get one 250th birthday. You know what I mean?
That's true.
They were doing it big.
Go big or go home.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, there were Democrats. There were some people on the right too, but mostly Democrats were throwing a fit because it's like, shut the fuck up.
Meow, meow.
Gunpowder's asking if you're sick, Barbecue. In what way?
Yeah, why do I have to be sick?
No, there's different ways of being sick. Physically or mentally?
I'm going to say, as compared to who?
Yeah.
Is it because I didn't say anything when you guys said hello, Jesse?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I just said I'd be nice to people with mental illness today.
Cats are not very happy right now. I don't know if you guys can hear those two or not.
You should feed them occasionally. Oh, shit.
I don't know what's going on. Two of them ain't happy about something.
Sounds serious. You should record videos. Then you'd be up to 500 subs real quick. You start doing cat videos.
Uh-huh.
They were trying to get the same pussy.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were trying to get the same window. I think they were fighting over the window.
Did Gunpowder reply?
Nope.
Lame.
Oh, she said you sound thick or have a dick in your mouth.
Oh!
Damn!
Oh. Even if I have a dick in my mouth, I still have 1, 2, 3, 4 44 magnums. And you could have a dick in your mouth and still have none. Oh.
Alrighty then.
Bet you didn't think that was going to be on your show tonight, did you?
Right?
You never know.
See, the thing
that
like,
was not on your bingo card.
People think like, oh, I just gotta no, there's no dick in my mouth. Like, no, sometimes you just gotta fucking roll with it because no matter what, like you got burned, so like you just gotta let the burn happen and just go with the punch.
I am getting stared at now by a cat. I don't know why.
It's because you have a dick in your mouth.
No, the one that's staring at me usually is because she wants me to play with the laser pointer.
Oh, so he doesn't deny having a dick in his mouth.
I said no.
No, you just said no because you usually have a laser pointer.
You could do both.
Yeah.
No multitasking. Somebody's being called.
Dad. Not my kids.
Not my kid. My kids ain't that young.
My kids don't live here, so they're not beat by hollering, Dad.
Mine still do.
Yep, he got summoned.
Yep. At 12:30 at night. Like, why the hell are you still awake?
Dad, I can't sleep.
Did you try?
Read me a story. Of course, Gunpowder's up late, too.
Mm-hmm.
She probably set an alarm for the middle of the night so she could get up in peace and quiet.
I'm back.
Okay.
But are you nationwide?
That's right.
Kids are still awake.
Yeah, Gunpowder said her kids are still awake. It's summer break. Man. I wasn't allowed to stay up that late when I was that young.
No. We had rules when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't allowed to stay up that late until 11,
Well, you
12?
shit, huh?
No, I'm trying to remember.
High school, maybe.
Middle school, I think. And only on weekends.
Yeah. Usually, we were allowed to watch the first half hour of Johnny Carson, which meant I got to stay up till 11 o'clock at night by the time I was in junior high or so. And then we went to bed. And of course, Mom had TV in her room, so she watched the rest of the show, but I didn't.
The only time I got to watch Johnny Carson was if I was staying overnight at my grandmother's house.
Mom always had it on.
Well, yeah, but it was on. It wasn't on until like 11:30.
Oh, 10:30 here. So
Yeah.
Dad would already be in bed because he'd usually be in bed before the news came on. Because he just went to bed early most of the time. So.
Mm-hmm. That's the way my grandfather was. He'd be in bed before the evening.
He didn't wait for Mom. He just said, I'm going to bed. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. Well, Mom would go to bed and then she'd lay there with the light on and do crossword puzzles for another half hour at least. Oh. She's in Missouri, the show me state. I guess the kids are showing her. She's down hillbilly territory.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on the other side of hillbilly, I think.
Christ, my grandparents didn't even sleep in the same bedroom when I was a kid because my grandmother's sleeping issues. They slept in two different bedrooms.
My daughter and son-in-law do that half the time. I haven't figured out how they ever managed to have a kid. They must have figured it out somehow. But yeah, Sarah with her back issues a lot of times. Yeah. And now with the baby, it's even more messed up because they have a baby in the nursery, or there's a small bed in the nursery, so sometimes one of them will sleep in it and stay in there with her. That was the spare bed I stayed in, but now there's no spare bed. It'll eventually be hers when she gets big enough.
And then you'll have to use the crib.
No, I just don't stay the night there. Very rarely. Now, occasionally I will. They've got a big sofa. I can usually
Mm-hmm.
just lay down on the sofa, put a blanket over me. I'll be fine for one night. If I'm really sleepy, I can usually sleep bad anywhere, except for the floor. I can't do the floor. I spent the night on my recliner before.
Oh, I've done that.
It's not the most comfortable. I wish it would actually lay down completely flat, but
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't quite go that far back. But especially in the wintertime, if it's a little chilly in there and I go get a throw blanket and throw over me,
Mm-hmm.
usually get pretty sleepy. And then if the cat gets on my lap, that pretty much knocks me out. Like, yep, time to sleep.
One of the kids is up.
Not mine.
No, it's probably the daughter. Doubt if it's my son at this time. He's got to get up for work in 2 hours.
Oh, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I did work, I usually got up at 5:30. Look, Moo's even awake. Jeez.
He's got to be at work at 4.
Could be in here.
Mm-hmm.
He probably got up to pee.
Probably shit his pants.
Well, I hope not. And he probably won't tell us if he did. Some things you just don't share.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's gonna be graphic. Okay.
Mm. Doing that in reverse order. Supposed to get out of bed first, Moo.
He probably should.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go back to it.
If you don't want the wife to kick the shit out of you. Like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Be like that Saturday Night Live commercial, the Tylenol BM. You remember that one? Guess not.
No, can't remember that one. He's wanting to know who makes these rules. I think the women's make those rules.
I don't have one of those. There's probably a reason for that, but I don't have one.
Yeah, they have all these rules where they want us to be civilized and refined.
They should just put up with this for a while because we're going to die before them more than likely anyway. And they get all our money.
Really, who's the one that's always telling us you got to put the toilet seat down, you got to do this, you got to do that? Come on now, don't give me that.
No, I never did understand that. The women are just as capable of putting the seat down as we are.
Mm-hmm.
Look to see if it's up first.
Exactly.
If I have to look, you should look too. About the first time you fall and hit the rim of that toilet, you'd be like, I should have looked first.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest pet peeve of mine? Like, I've got to put the toilet seat down, but you can't put down the fucking lid? Mm-hmm. Like, there's a lid for a reason. Put it down.
Mm-hmm.
And no, there's not a counter in the bathroom so you can spread all your shit from one side to the other either. I don't know about that, Moo. I've been to an all-you-can-eat sushi bar, but I've never been to an all-you-can-eat booby bar. That would be cool.
We ain't getting started on this sushi thing again. Then did that once. That was enough. Yeah, we know she knows. That was the impetus for the episode I was just talking about. Finding out just how much she knows. Maybe.
I want sushi now.
I am starting to get tired.
Pussy.
Yeah, it's 1:45.
Pussy.
Oh, you shut up.
No, you shut the fuck up.
No, you shut the fuck up. Oh, man.
It's too bad I don't know exactly like what chat or chats you've said that in, so we can go back and clip it and like make that an outro point. You know, like at the very end of a show where it's just like, no, you shut the fuck up, and then just boom, show's off the air.
No, that was barbecue.
What?
She said she's tired from having dick in his mouth. I said, no, that was barbecue.
I can only wish that I could put my own dick in my mouth. Not that I want my own dick in my mouth, but if I put my own dick in my mouth, I'm fucking swinging a fucking hammer.
Wow.
I'm just saying. If that could happen, I got a fucking hammer. And I'm going to be in fucking movies.
Man. It reminds me of this one time, me and our neighbor and a couple of his buddies were standing around drinking beer, around by where his van's parked and stuff. And he's like, he looks over at our neighbor's dog who's sitting there, licking his balls, and he's like, "That's the life." We all just look at him like, "What the fuck are you?" He's like, "Could you imagine just being able to sit there and lick your balls all day?" And all of us in unison were like, "No!"
Nope.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
People are like, you don't beat your... No, it's fucking manual labor. Like, too lazy for that shit.
It's about like the two guys walking down the street, and they see this dog laying on a sidewalk licking his balls, and one of them said, "I wish I could do that." And the other one said, "Well, pet him first, he might let you."
So we went running up to Adam the one day, and she's like, "Adam, I've got a huge problem." He's like, "What?" She's like, I'm bleeding from my vagina." He's like, "Oh my God, what are you going to do?" She's like, I don't know. I think right now I'm just going to run and jump in the river and, kind of clean up. He's like, "All right, I'm going to go talk to God, see what he says." So Adam runs up, says, "God, you got a problem. Eve's bleeding from her vagina." He's like, "Yeah, she's supposed to." What's she doing right now? She went and jumped into the river. She's going to wash up. God damn it, get her out of the river right now. I'll never be able to get that smell off the fish. Oh, that explains a lot.
It does.
Mm-hmm. I also like that God says, "God damn it."
Mm-hmm. Shouldn't you just said "me, damn it"?
That's why I like it. Because he's speaking in third person.
Mm-hmm. I think on that note, we're going to start wrapping this up. Because sometimes it can take 15 minutes to get through this.
I feel like you should have wrapped up a long time ago when you started talking about licking dogs' balls.
I didn't say that. You did.
I did not fucking say anything like that.
No, Gary's the one that said about somebody. But anyway, you got anything you want to
Gary,
plug?
he was the one that brought stuff up like that first, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to make sure.
I'm deflecting. You got anything you want to plug or say before we get out of here, barbecue?
Lock up your dogs. Your wives and daughters are safe, but lock up your dogs. Rich White's coming to town, so I got nothing. Good show. Wait, I lied. Go over to DM Foss's channel and watch his lives. And when you watch his lives, click on the description. And in that description, there will be a link. It's a mysterious link. But when you click on this link, there's actually a couple of links. There's a link for Sharon Hinchcliffe and her GoFundMe. But there's also a link where you can go and buy apparel made by DM Foss. Do it.
So he hand makes all this shit?
I don't know, but either way, it's DM Foss apparel.
I don't think he and I are the same size.
Probably not. What about you, Giz? You got anything you want to plug or say before we get out of here?
Watch all my shit at least twice. Not only on my channel, but go over to Boomer Listens and watch it too. Tomorrow night, Foul Territory, 9 p.m. Central. Be there. That includes you, Gunpowder. Be there. And for my channel members, Wednesday night, members only, giving away a knife every week. You should be there. Become a channel member. 99 cents a month is all it takes. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, take my advice. Pull down your pants and slide on the ice. Have a good evening.
Alrighty. Well, I guess with that, we're going to wrap this up. So, put a nice bow on it, I guess. I don't know. What the hell? It's different.
Don't tie it too tight. It could be painful.
Don't want to tie it too tight because then you cut off the circulation. Then
That's right.
Yeah, never a good thing. Unless it's a tourniquet. Then I guess you're okay because you want to cut the circulation off if you're tying a tourniquet. That's the one time. That's the one time where you can tie it too tight. So, yeah, there's, I guess, I don't know.
Take a class before you go starting to tie tourniquets. So.
Yes.
Doesn't take that long, but learn how.
No, it doesn't. Gary found out how easy it was to take that class last year. So if you're going to goals, people out there, take the Stop the Bleed class and learn how to properly tie a tourniquet and all that kind of good stuff. Could save yours or somebody else's life.
Good. And then make sure you buy a tourniquet. Buy a good one too.
Yes, you want to buy a good one. You don't want to buy a $10 tourniquet off of Amazon. That's not good. That's no bueno. Anyway, we'll bid you adieu for this week.
Au revoir.
Be sure to check out Gizzard Gary's show tomorrow night. We will catch you all in. So have a good night, everybody. And where the hell did I put that?
Goodbye.
Rich loves dog nuts.
I never said that.
Now listen up, babies. I'm here to ride the train down the funky town. The Unloaded Media Channel is doing a giveaway once he hits 500 subscribers.
Over what?
For more information and details, check the description down below.
This is why
you too can be funky like a monkey.
What a queen!
Dogs aren't safe.